What's up, guys? Welcome to Forensic Friday, where I tell you one true crime case that was solved using forensic science, all while doing, that's right, my makeup. If you love true crime and makeup, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future episodes. Today's video will be featuring the new Drop Dead Gorgeous collection from BH Cosmetics. This is the Little Bit Psycho palette, and I had to get this because, come on, aren't we all a little bit psycho? It's probably just me. Yeah. I also picked up the Killer Queen brush set. It comes with 6 brushes and this gorgeous sequins makeup bag. All the other items I'm using in this video will be linked in the description below. Please read the disclaimer. I am in no way a professional makeup artist, MUA, or a beauty guru by any means. I'm just the average girl at home like you, playing in makeup and talking about true crime. What can be better than that? But for real, do not judge me because I can't make any promises about this look today. This all takes place in Perth Amboy, New Jersey in the year 1994. Melissa Padilla was a young mother of 4 who had migrated from Puerto Rico when she was just a child. She was now living in New Jersey, unmarried, and supporting herself and her children with monthly welfare checks. She dropped out of high school her junior year and didn't have any technical skills to obtain a decent job. So she was pretty much working on minimum wage, and there was no way that she was gonna make it like that. As a result of this, Melissa ended up losing her apartment and moving her and her 4 children into the Gem Motel. The Gem Motel was not on a great part of town. It was definitely dangerous. This motel is one of the cheapest motels around in that area, and it was located along Route 1, which was one of the main streets or highways around there. On the night of August 11th, 1994, Melissa left the children with her boyfriend as she walked to a nearby convenience store to get some groceries. Melissa went out at 11 o'clock that night because her children was hungry, and I mean, I'm sure we've all been there where, you know, your children, well, I don't have children, so that doesn't make any sense, but if you have children, you've been there where they get hungry in the middle of the night and you have to go out. I just know because I was a kid and I used to get hungry in the middle of the night and we had no fucking money, and it was like, somebody gotta go somewhere, you know, to the gas station or something to give me a sandwich or an apple or something, cause according to security surveillance, Melissa left the convenience store around 11:30 at night and headed back to the motel, but she never made it. So later that night, her boyfriend hadn't heard anything from her, so he thought he'd go out to check and see what was going on. He found her body half naked laying along the main highway. Authorities notified Melissa's mother and her parents, letting them know what had happened to her. Police thought that the manner in which they found Melissa was really strange. Most killers go through like great lengths to kind of, you know, conceal what they've done, conceal the evidence, conceal like the murder, but they thought that whoever the perpetrator was definitely had some balls because he committed this crime right along the main highway, not giving a about who saw what, and left Melissa's body right out in the open. This highway was very highly traveled. There was always people on it. When police interviewed her boyfriend again, he said that he found her body in a sewer pipe near the highway and that she was naked from the waist down. Autopsy reports revealed that she died from manual asphyxiation. There were several grocery items found near the body, as well as Melissa's blood-splattered shorts found about a half a block away from where the body was found. What was really weird was that the pockets on the shorts was turned inside out. But the most damning evidence came from the body itself. She had been battered so badly in the face that both eyes were completely swollen shut. Now it's time to go into the palette. I am so excited to play with these shades. But anyway, back to the story. Wow, that is pigmented. They also found her genital area mutilated, which led investigators to believe that this was a sexually motivated attack. Scrapings from underneath her fingernails revealed DNA. However, police did not have any suspects at the time to compare the DNA to, so they really didn't know where to start and who to look at. I mean, obviously, you start with the boyfriend. I mean, right? That's how these things usually go. Melissa's autopsy report also revealed something that investigators had never seen, not even in their 30 years of experience. She had bite marks along her chin and left breast. Ooh, I know y'all thinking, what is she doing right now? And I'm thinking the same damn thing. This told investigators that there was probably some sort of ritualistic element to the killing. Now, they found that the bite mark on the chin was particularly unusual. Normally in a ritual killing like this, it is normal for bite marks to occur to, well, it's not normal, let's be honest, but to have bite marks in the genital area, stomach area, you know, the breast area, that's more seen, I guess, than having bite marks on the chin. So investigators began their search for Melissa's killer. The first thing that they did was go back to check the security camera footage from the grocery store. Accessing that footage really helped investigators to establish a time in which the murder took place. It was shortly before midnight. It also showed the cashier giving her change, although no money was found in Melissa's clothing. This indicated to police that she had also been robbed. Police also started questioning people and looking for eyewitnesses that may have been in the area around that time and date that Melissa was killed. There was a witness that came forward who said that they were traveling along the side of the road that night when they saw two individuals like struggling along the side near the pipes. But the witness was unable to provide a lot of useful information. Obviously it was nighttime, so they couldn't see, like, get a good look at the people that were struggling. So they wouldn't be able to identify anyone in a lineup because obviously it was nighttime. The assault to Jennifer's face and the bite marks to her chin and left breast led police to theorize that the murderer got some sort of perverse pleasure from abusing women, and he may have done this before. Girl problems. Now, just a mile away from the murder scene was a prison for convicted sex offenders. It showed a number of prisoners released in that area. Police pulled every single one of their files to figure out what their MO was, if they had any rituals when they performed their other assaults at that time. They complied with DNA testing, they complied with hair testing, they complied with all of the tests that the police asked them to do, and none of them were a match. All of them were eliminated as suspects. Melissa's boyfriend, who was staying with her children, he also was eliminated from the suspect list. Police was starting to get real frustrated. They had an unsolved homicide with no suspects. So it looked like it wasn't going anywhere and it could possibly be a cold case. But then 8 months later, 500 miles away in Maine, there was another assault that was very, very similar to Melissa's. This crime again was very bold and reckless. However, this time the perpetrator made a very big mistake in choosing his victim. She was a state trooper. The assault took place on April 3rd, 1995. It was around 8:30 p.m. and off-duty trooper Vicki Gardner was on her way home. She was off-duty and driving her police cruiser along Interstate 5. She came across a vehicle parked in the wrong direction on the interstate. That's when she stopped to investigate like what the heck was going on, I think that she thought whoever it was probably drunk. That is when she discovered that the driver, Stephen Fortin, had been drinking. Since she was off duty, she called for another patrol car to take Stephen into custody. As soon as Stephen heard this, he wasn't having it. He got really upset, and that is when he started to attack Gardner. He pretty much sucker punched her in the face, pulled her into the back of her police cruiser, molested her, raped her, and bit her chin again. Like, damn, why you gotta bite people, dude? You gonna get caught with all of that biting. You're gonna get caught biting people like that. You can't go around biting people like that and not get caught. He then hopped into the police cruiser and took off. Vicki Gardner at this point was still inside of the car with him, but she managed to open the door and jump out. I feel like this is cool. I don't feel like that's cool. Like when I see this, I'm like, what the hell did she do to your face? So he tried to reach out and grab her and pull her back in while she was trying to escape. But she kind of maneuvered out of his way and was able to get, away and out of the car. Lucky her, because that could have went oh so badly. So after Vicki jumped out of the vehicle, Stephen lost control of the car and he crashed it. He was later caught and taken into custody. According to police and investigators, when they talked with Stephen, they said that he never took responsibility for any of his actions in the situation and in the circumstances. He just kept blaming it on everyone else, like it was Vicki's fault that he, did what he did. Vicki had bite marks and scrape marks all over her body. Like it was ridiculous. This man is over here biting people. Like, shit, what are y'all doing out there? Like, police knew because of the way that all the victims were found and victimized, that this was not Stephen's first time doing this. This definitely was a reoccurring offender. After searching Stephen's apartment, police found that he had a history of violence. Stephen Portman's name was very well known to the prosecutors. They had sent him to prison before for 7 years on a manslaughter charge, but he got out early. He got out in 2 years for good behavior. Like, he had actually stabbed his brother in the throat in 1993, and I guess they didn't know then that he needed to be put away. Like, that ought to be a crime right there. We ought to take the judge and put him in jail for letting him out, because that's ridiculous. He actually pled guilty to stabbing his brother in the throat. So when they heard of Stephen Fortin's assault in Maine, they obviously wanted to find out if he was anywhere near New Jersey around the time that Melissa was assaulted. So to find out, police interviewed Fortin's former girlfriend, and she confirmed that in 1994, Stephen Fortin did in fact live in New Jersey at some point. According to her, on the very night in question, he assaulted her in a parking lot of a restaurant. She called the police and he ran. That restaurant, Bud's Hut, was a short walk from the Gems Motel where Melissa Padillo lived. Police had listed the time of the assault at 10:30 p.m. that night, just an hour before Melissa was murdered. Finally, police had a suspect, but police work was just halfway done. They still had to prove him guilty. Prosecutors hoped that the DNA evidence taken from underneath Melissa's fingernails would help incriminate Stephen Fortin, but it didn't. When the DNA was compared to Stephen Fortin's from the Maine lab, the DNA lab could not exclude or include Fortin as a suspect. With the DNA evidence inconclusive, prosecutors felt that the only chance they had was the bite marks on the two victims. This seemed to be prosecutors' best chance of linking Stephen Fortin to Melissa Padillo's murder. A plaster impression was made on Fortin's teeth. The impression plus photographs of Stephen's bite marks were sent to a specialist. Dr. Levine compared Fortin's teeth to the bite marks on both victims. He found them to be a match. Prosecutors also brought in an FBI profiler and behavioral analyst for criminals. He performed what they call a linkage analysis. A linkage analysis is an in-depth study of two or more crimes to find out if they were committed by the same person. And what do you know? They concluded that the same man had indeed committed the two crimes. Stephen Fortin's trial began on October 31st, 2000. The prosecutor's entire case rested on the opinions of two forensic experts. Vicky Horton, the state trooper that he assaulted, actually got on the stand and testified against him. Thanks to forensic science and some good police work, on February 26, 2001, Stephen Hortin was sentenced to death by lethal injection. Lucy, your ears. Come on. Okay, thank you. What do you guys think about this case and my makeup look? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you like videos like these, then check out my last episode. I will leave it linked on the screen right here. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any of my future episodes. And I will see you guys next week with another Forensic Friday episode. Bye. Look, babes, don't worry about the palette.